We greet you with love. And we say good morning, hello everyone, here in Jamaica on 99 FM and across the world at www.thebridge99fm.com. It's a Thursday, day number 16. I'm going to take that song from the top. It's called Carry On by Elaine. And my name is Richie B.
DJ Art is in the building.
Yep, we here. Morning, Kevin. By the way, I saw your virgin last night. Peter John. So Peter John established a connection between you and himself, you know what I mean? Send a big deal for you, give thanks. Yeah, we were downtown last night for JTA, and the theme was Love a Dub. I was able to bring on some really, really fantastic entertainers to that stage. Hats off to JTA and, of course, all of their affiliates and sponsors. Nice, intimate setting at the Festival Marketplace down there inside of the Craft Market, downtown Kingston. Awesome show it was. Big ups to all the entertainers and everyone who contributed to the success of that show. We'll tell you more about it later on this morning. But right now, it's time for us to welcome you officially to Top of the Bridge Up and Go here on the Bridge 99 FM. Hey, yeah, let's do this. And that takes us right down to that time when we have our next feature, WTF, What the Fact?
All
Here
right.
it is.
So there's a Jamaican scientist by the name of Dr. Henry Lowe who created a cure for prostate cancer. Now, 2 years after unveiling a groundbreaking treatment for prostate cancer, famous Jamaican scientist Dr. Henry Lowe put the Alpha Prostate Formula 1 on the market in 2012. The product, which goes under the name Eden Gardens and asserts to completely eradicate prostate cancer, has chemicals primarily derived from the ball moss plant. Since then, the US-based Food and Drug Association, the FDA, has given its seal of approval, and it is authorized for export to North America and other nations. It's a good look.
Yeah,
Very good look.
I know him.
Yeah.
Dr. Henry Lowe,
Yeah, man.
top scientist.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, world renowned, and
big.
he has done a lot of good for this country and brought a lot of recognition
Respect.
in the world of science, and that is just one of.
One of, yeah, can
So we
imagine.
say big ups to Dr. Henry Lowe and all the work that himself and his team have done through the years.
Yeah.
Jamaicans doing well and shining
That's right.
in so many different arenas.
If I tell you.
You know what's the ball moss shells, right?
No.
You look on the light, the power line.
The point. Oh, that's what it. Oh.
I think.
Yep.
I didn't reach out that stuff. Okay. All right. Man, respect.
Yeah, and him not get shocked.
Yeah.
But him shot the world with
That is it.
that is research.
Yeah.
All right, that's of course WTF. What the fact?
Get them all.
Some of us are barely up actually, because we worked until late last night.
What you on?
I'm just getting a vibe as to what Audley goes through when he does ribbies or something. I step in
right.
at the next morning. And I mean, I was out until maybe after close. I got home a little after 12 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Having done the big show downtown last night for JTA, with a number of artists, including, of course, Glenn Washington, who closed the show. We also had the likes of Danique. Hadn't seen Danique perform in a long time. She did a good job as well. On the bill, we also had the likes of D Major. And D Major mashed up the place. Fahrenheit performed and did an excellent job. Nick Taylor, who I was meeting for the first time, she also one of those artists who was discovered at one of the JTA talent events.
Okay.
She did an excellent job, and I got a chance also to meet and to see for the first time Vibrations, a young artist who has great potential. Nice intimate setting down there at the festival marketplace inside of the Craft Market downtown.
Nice, that's great.
Right beside the sea where the cool wind blew.
Cold.
And no, it was not cold really,
okay.
but it was real. And you know, with so much reggae and thing and bright lights on stage,
yeah.
kind of nice and warm. But
embrace, yeah.
a decent crowd came out and enjoyed a wonderful night of performance. Prime Minister's wife, Most Honorable Juliet Holness was there. I soon post up the pic and tick and thing when I take, you know, yo.
That's right.
Yo, the one.
You want to see the man picking up?
The one I did get a prep on the man say, yo. So big up boss lady and of course our friends from Jaria, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, and all of their affiliates. Great vibes. And I think next week, Wednesday, they'll be having a praise and worship session down there at the same spot. All right?
Nice.
Shells, you got something for us?
Yeah. So here we're going. It's about Rihanna. You know, my good friend Rihanna. You know, we're up on a friend basis. Now, you know it tingo. And my good brother ASAP Rocky. Here we're going. I completely understand why they took a very long time to let us see their child.
Really?
Because social media wicked. You understand me? So here we're going. Rihanna, ASAP, they shared some lovely photos thanks to Vogue. You see me? And internet, you don't know if you are fans and them go crazy. You understand me? So it was a good look. I like the photos. However, social media will always be social media. Don't bridge nation. And social media had some weird reactions to Rihanna calling her son fine. You understand me? So she said, "My son's so fine. I don't care. How crazy both of my babies were in these photos, and mommy had no clue." So she was saying that she was pregnant at the time when she was doing that. Yeah, so social media, you know, they had a weird reaction to her calling her son fine. Apparently to most people, they're saying, you know, fine is kind of like a flirtatious comment. You know, yeah, so a lot of persons say, "Oh, you know."
She also referred to the baby as my perfect baby.
Yes,
they had a problem with that
too?
Too?
Apparently, because people, you know.
Social media, on info.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Someone said, Riri, no, about 12. Oh, you had other words to use like handsome, adorable, a cutie pie, you know, I don't know, something other than fine. Someone also said, y'all changed the definition of fine and made it weird. Fine literally means good looking, handsome. She doesn't want to date her damn son. Like, let's use our brains. She didn't call this baby sexy, hot, etc. She said her son is fine. And as you said, Richie, he's perfect. Yeah, and a lot of persons.
She said that, actually.
Yeah, she said it. It's not like, but she also had something to say to paparazzi going forward as it relates to her child. I also want to find it. She said, as it relates to paparazzi taking photos of her son without her permission, she said, "You don't have any consent to be selling photos of my child, a minor." So she's just, you know, letting the people them know, say, yo, she's keeping control of her baby's photos and anything related to her and ASAP's child, which is good.
Boss lady taking charge as she should. Baby. Social media can be very unkind. I thought they would have been a little kinder to a baby, in all honesty.
I know, even matter who for baby.
Yeah.
Y'all remember what they did to Blue Ivy?
Yeah.
So it's,
I mean,
they don't care.
Look at what they did to her father recently.
True. Jay-Z.
I mean, Beyonce accepting one of those Grammys, she says to refer to him as her beautiful husband. And all that.
I don't say, "Oh, well, go now." Like cameraman did. A cameraman did me a free him to you.
It's almost as if all hell broke loose.
A cameraman did the timing, the two perfect. Whoever in charge of switching the program, them two perfect.
One of the images they put out of Jay-Z, his cheeks are as high as Mount Everest, for God's sake. And, you know what I mean? They don't respect the man and his millions. What's wrong with them?
Billions.
His billions.
Respect that.
I mean, I don't know, boy. Leave the people alone, man, when it comes to people and their families. I mean, what are they going to say about John Legend, who, in fact, just posted a family portrait pic as well with his wife,
Chrissy Teigen.
Chrissy Teigen, and their 3 kids. What are they going to say about John now? Because John and Chrissy, they were feeling bigger love this Valentine's Day, having welcomed baby girl Esty Maxine just last month. The couple, who are also parents to daughter Luna Simone, who is 6 years of age, and son Miles Theodore, who's 4, rang in their romantic holiday as a family of 5. To mark the occasion, the All of Me singer and the Cravings cookbook writer got dressed up for a sweet, I wonder if we have a problem with that now. A sweet snapshot of their 3 kids. Social media, give them a break, please. And I think they look really, really good together.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, nice pic. And we'll see what happens. But that's a really nice thing to publish
so far,
for Valentine's Day. So we wish John and Chrissy and their family all the best.
That's right.
And I hope that social media will have no problems with their pics. That's it for
Update.
Time now for one of a series of features. First off, the proverb of the day.
Now, here one go on Bridge Nation. When jackass smell corn, him gallop. When jackass smell corn, him gallop.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
What
all
that
like him
mean?
like. That's all like him like corn for some reason. So, the meaning.
Get happy.
You see that? And that's what the meaning is.
Yeah.
Encouragement sweetens labor.
Okay.
Yeah. So peeps hand out corn today. Isn't it? It's a good look. Alright, so when jackass smells corn, him gallop. Encouragement sweetens labor.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
All right,
I
so
agree with that.
as far as the pet peeves are concerned, which is pet peeves are things that people do that you find annoying, irritating, or just simply upsetting.
That's right.
Every now and again, we're doing an event, and
Richie.
yeah.
Are you a pet peeve?
yeah, wait a second, mention a pet peeve.
All right.
And this is on behalf of many people who I know because some of them commented. An artist is performing, and there is an aspiring artist in the audience.
Right.
He very often does not even know the artist that is performing, but him get a vibe and him decides, yo, this is my moment. He never rehearsed, obviously, so the band doesn't know what he's coming with.
Oh, jeez.
The artist doesn't know him, doesn't know the kind of lyrics or what he's gonna do, and this artist decides to just run up on the big artist who will perform, try to grab the mic,
Oh, jeez.
because he sees an opportunity to get some exposure, as happened last evening.
Oh, no.
And we had to assist in the process of removing him from the stage.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm just saying, yeah, you're an artist, you're a young artist, you want to make it big, you want to be as big as the artist that is on the stage.
yeah.
You don't do that. Don't run up on the stage
sir.
while the person is performing, not even knowing who you are, what you
Don't
come
do it.
with. Maybe it's a totally different vibe. Maybe it's a cultural artist and you want to come with slackness or badman lyrics.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Facts.
Find a way to speak to somebody. There's another person who came back and said, Richie, boy, I'm a dub poet and would I love to even one tune tonight, We had to say, the fact is the program is set, and there's no facility for that. But if you have any music, let me get a copy of it. You know what I mean? So we can give you some support even on the radio for starters. But
Yeah.
young artists who have this, and sometimes not even young, the big man out there, run up on artists. Don't do that, please.
Yeah.
It is a pet peeve of not just myself, but of many other persons as well. All right.
For real.
Those are pet peeves. That's a pet peeve.
That's right.
And of course, those are things that people find upsetting, annoying, irritating. And we're about to have an interview with the president of the JTA, Mrs. Lasonia Harrison. Just to remind you that after that, we'll be giving you the full statement from the Prime Minister in relation to some investigations that are currently ongoing. Now, last week, some 585 JTA delegates voted with 560 voting to reject the wage offer from the Ministry of Finance, 24 voting to accept, while one ballot, we understand, was rejected. In light of the overwhelming rejection, the JTA said it will be writing to the ministry, the Finance Ministry, outlining the outcome of the meeting and seeking an improved offer and a request to return to the bargaining table as soon as possible. In fact, the president of the JTA, Mrs. Harrison, in an interview recently, said there were several challenges that were faced by the association during the negotiations. We want to get to that and all the issues surrounding this matter. And we say good morning and welcome to JTA President, Mrs. Lasonia Harrison. Morning, Mrs. Harrison.
Morning.
Good morning, Richie B. Good morning, and to your listeners and the teachers of this nation.
That's right.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us at this time. So the JTA voted overwhelmingly to reject the offer from the Ministry of Finance. And we understand that the minister himself shared recently that there'll be no change to the wage increase offered to the teachers. First of all, what is your response to what the minister said?
The minister does what the minister does. And the minister uses the tactics that the minister uses.
Okay. All right. I think Minister heard that.
Yeah, man.
But I'm interested to find out though. What are the sticking points, and what does sort of like an improved offer? What would it look like for the JTA?
Well, without getting too granular, because the truth is we do not negotiate in the public sphere.
Understood.
But there are some issues, or the delegates would have, having presented to them the offer on government, would have highlighted some areas that they need addressing as it relates to our trained graduates in particular, and as it relates to our some benefits and allowances that the government seeking to eliminate federalism and discontinue in some instances. So there were a few banding issues as well, where some categories of teachers are situated, and so we're seeking some refinement and some changes to that. In particular, we have a group of people called some work experience coordinators, and lecturers have also highlighted their challenge with where they particularly are at this time. In one grouping in particular, well, as the lecturers, in terms of where, in comparison to what they do the same job as another grouping of people in another ministry, yet those persons are being paid almost $2 million more than they will be as lecturers in the education system. And so those are some issues that we have brought and continue to highlight. The trained graduate, as I would have articulated, the removal of a particular allowance, or the potential to remove, or the suggestion that of the book, software, and technology allowance in this day and age, where the government says that we're in a digital space, and there is consistently, history does not show that the government has provided the education system with all that it needs in terms of facilitating teaching and learning, and teachers have long subsidized the educational offering in this nation. And so we continue to ask of the government, what kind of education system will this transitioning look like, or the impact that it will have. Certainly, the teachers of this nation, we're not greedy individuals. We only ask for a livable wage, and a wage that traditionally has lent to the poor. In terms of what it is we have continued to do over the years to help subsidize households, to help subsidize the PASS program, because the children still are paid, get bus fare, lunch monies, and other technical support out of the funds that teachers receive.
Now, Mrs. Harrison, morning, Shells here. How wide would you say is the gap between what is being asked by our nation's teachers and what is being offered by the minister?
No, we are certainly not begrudging of any grouping of public sector workers. We're all in the struggle together. But if you conduct a study and you say that you want to provide some amount of equity, and you're collapsing all the scales as much as possible in order to provide some uniformity and all of that, how is it then that when it comes on to the mass of the teaching profession, the person, the soldiers on the ground, the operationalizers of the vision of education, we want to pay that individual who has basic, training qualification in comparison to another member of said public sector, does the same years of studies and all of that, and you pay them, you want to offer them at a starting point less than others. And I'm not sure if the government really thought some things through in terms of who supervises who in a school, and then you now increase the salaries of some of the workers in their school setting that is above those who they report to. I'm not quite sure how that works.
I know that public sentiment always leans towards our teachers, and understandably so. But would you say that the teachers are underpaid or grossly underpaid, Madam President?
I think that is a known fact. I think when it is that you get a pay that takes you to the second week of the month or the third week, if it goes that far, and you live from loan to loan, and you have a teacher who goes home with $8,000 out of his or her pay, and they're not wasting it, but it goes back into loan repayment. You subsidize your education, your professional development, because not every teacher accesses a 50% refund facility that is available, because there are some criteria attached to same. Not every teacher goes on study leave, because there is a cap as to how many teachers can go on leave for any 1 year. So while there are some provisions, there are many thousands of teachers. I am an example. I've never benefited from any government subsidizing. I have a master's in education, and there are several teachers like me who continue to upgrade themselves at their own expense. We take loans and do other things in order to do that, and the system benefits. There is no teacher who gets an additional qualification where his or her skills and competencies have been honed, have been developed, and the students that they serve do not benefit, and the school does not benefit from same. All of these, when you come and see these grand functions and all of these things, not many schools can afford to pay a decorator or anybody. It is the skill sets of the people within the school that comes together and put on the production, sewing of costumes for JC, DC, and all of these things. A lot of them is the teachers who do that. It is not external forces. There are some persons who partner with our schools and assist, and a parent who may assist, but that is not the. And so we continue to subsidize the offerings of education. And when it is, we think that it is hard for us to pay our teachers. Other persons are coming in recruiting our skill set. There is no coincidence, and the teachers are going and they're doing so excellently well. It has to be that what the teachers' colleges are producing, they are producing quality. Yes, because other persons will not come up to pick up garbage to go and put in their classrooms before their children.
I note that in the presentation in Parliament recently, in tabling the budget, which is over $1 trillion budget, the minister noted that expenditure on salaries and so on, that was the single largest figure of $338 billion, and he went on to point out that groups that have not yet signed on will not be granted any further increase. Does that scare you, or will that make you change your approach going forward?
You know, the truth is, Richie B, the teachers of this nation will decide, but I, sitting in as president, again, the minister does what he does.
Are you as a body?
The teachers decide ultimately, because of that 560 votes, I only had one. 585 votes, I only had one vote. The teachers are intelligent in this nation, and we are the ones who create all the other professions, contrary to how persons would like to insult us consistently. What we do and what we contribute to this nation it certainly has not attracted the kind of respect and respect where it counts, because everybody has platitudes towards teachers, and we take them when we get them, and everyone will tell you how it is that their teachers would have contributed to. But when it comes down to the matter of us being substantially paid, all those other countries that we seek to compare ourselves with, and how the state of their education system. Look at how the teachers are compensated as well. Look at how what the compensation package is, so as to attract and to retain the most expert and the best qualified individual to serve in the critical pillar of education that affects every single Jamaican. It can't be that as a people we need to determine what quality teaching service and the expertise that we want to retain in our classrooms to teach our Jamaican children. Mm-hmm. Everybody can't go. Everybody can't. We can't pack up with gingeration and go either. Our children, our cousin, niece, brother, cousin, whoever will have to attend Jamaican schools. And even the most elite of us, we have gingeration, who we can pack them up in our suitcase and take them with us if it is we so are afforded to go. But where will your family, which school, serviced by what quality level teachers will be in our Jamaican education system?
What is going on now? Is it impacting attrition in any way?
But for the teachers are sitting and waiting, I would be foolhardy to sit and say otherwise. And so I listen, and we await in writing what the caring response of the government is towards the teachers of this nation.
Yes.
As to what kind of education sector they want to remain in place for the constituents, for the people of this, for every parent listening who know who they are today, that the help they would have received from a teacher, no matter how it is. We would have had some, and all of us would at some point may have had a negative experience in school, but there was one teacher. There was that one person who saw in you and believed in and spoke in and worked towards. I write recommendations till I blue, leave my school and go carry children. Yeah. Just to ensure that they leave this point and would matriculate to somewhere else, because education was their vehicle. It was their opportunity in order to transition from their current circumstances to better circumstances and better living. We ask of those parents today who know that they, just Monday I was talking to a teacher, and she was in devotion, the midst of devotion, and a little boy came in and said, "Teacher, Mommy said you must put break," and he brought an empty lunch bag. It was Monday morning. Wow. And because the baby didn't want to forget the message, he disrupted the devotion to say, "Mommy said you must give me break and lunch money and give me lunch." Okay. Right? Because the lunch bag was empty. And we do that. That is just one school. We do that. And who subsidizes the operational monies that government sends to school? It is not enough to undertake and to support the PASS program and to support all the other initiatives in schools, but we continue to labor. We continue to sacrificially give to this nation. And when you think of all the institutions across the length and breadth of this nation, voluntary organizations that are upheld by the work and service of teachers, and to think, I ask of this nation what love and what care they would want to respect. They would want for the government to show, for them to show, because the people are the government of this nation, to the teachers of this.
It makes me ask, final question being, what further action are you now contemplating, and is strike action an option?
The teachers of this nation, they certainly are intelligent, and they will respond. We will do our necessary meetings and to talk as soon as we receive from the Ministry of Finance in writing what it is their response is. I'm sure we will have our meetings, but the teachers, I can tell you, are very restive on the ground at this time. We are tired, I do believe, of the continued insult.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mrs. Harrison.
So the teachers will speak.
You have fully ventilated the issues, and I thank you. I am who I am.
Me too.
To a great extent because of our teachers, my teachers, and we are who we are
Facts.
because of our teachers, and we definitely hope that the day will come soon, sooner than later, when they will be given the respect that they deserve. I thank you, Mrs. Harrison, and I wish you well.
Blessings to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Right now, it's time for us to go over to London.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, because it's that time of the morning for the UK Connection. And we say good afternoon because it's afternoon time in the UK. Good afternoon, Robo Ranks.
Robo.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, London, and a good morning, Jamaica. How are you guys this morning? I heard you talking about corruption. We are broadcasting from the capital of corruption, London, UK. You don't get better than over here. When they go to make corruption, brother, the skills, the network, the slew of emails. I didn't see, I didn't hear. It wasn't me. Be a shaggy singer player. This is the capital of corruption.
But,
So
what must be noted, though, is that whenever it raises its ugly head, yo, resignation and them things gonna ramp to come
Yeah,
true.
right away.
Yeah, but
not over here.
No?
Really?
You've noticed over here that they hold on as long as possible. There was obviously a minister over here that was caught with a load of tax evasions. He was like, me? Not me, Gov. Me? No, could never be. Not me. And that happens more than often. And the length that they hold on to their seats now is now becoming it's a thing now. They just don't resign. No, I'm not resigning. They wait until the last till the public really starts to rule, and then they ring, oh, this is going to be bad for the party, and then they resign. But over here, it's not the usual thing anymore to resign. So good luck on your side, team. Good luck.
Well. It's early days yet on this particular developing matter, and the opposition is going to be having a press conference, we understand, today. So we see what they have to say as it relates to these matters surrounding the name of the Prime Minister. All right. Yeah. What is happening on your end? I heard Shells this morning bemoaning some things happening with Chelsea. There's a reaction.
Bemoaning. You got Potter's at the wheel. Harry Potter's at the wheel.
He's
so
going to need
I
some
don't know
magic, I swear.
What was you really expecting, Shells? I mean,
That's a good question. No, so I'm not going to be the type of Chelsea fan that's just like, oh, we spent a lot of money and we're not winning. I understand what it's like to get players integrated into a system, whatever the system is. I just, what the thing about Potter that kind of annoys me. I see he's improving. What annoys me with Potter is the press conferences. Like, he's acting as if. No, it's fine. You know. I don't know if you've ever seen that meme with the dog and the fire around him. Like, no, this is fine. You know, like, yeah, it's one of that. Like, he keeps that type of energy.
The house is burning. Like, it's getting hot in here.
Yeah,
It's getting rather hot in here.
Let's open a window or something. Yeah, he has that type of attitude. I know he's trying to maintain composure, but that's why I liked managers like Mourinho and Antonio Conte, for example. You know, that fire. You know, like sometimes we as a fans, we want that. We lost a game. I want him to say, hey, we were poor today and I hate this. Like, I don't want him to be like, oh.
It's interesting that you're sort of having such a level of disappointment with your team, while
here we go.
Truthfully, I have a lot to celebrate recently as far as Man U is concerned.
Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe it's not long lasting, but I hope it is.
I understand where Shell's coming from, but being a rebel, as they call it, a rebel rouser, can be also counterproductive because you can rebel rouse the fans, you can rebel rouse the media, but when it starts going wrong, it's your changing room. That's where your problems start. It's like, actually, you talk a lot, you make a lot of noises, and we don't trust your process, or we don't trust your formations, or why are you still playing Joe at right back? Joe is whack. And that's where rebel rousing sometimes can be counterproductive. And when those managers rebel rouse, they usually leave also in a rebel rousing blaze of fire, which is also counterproductive for the next manager, the incumbent manager. So you got to be careful. You have to strike the right balance, and not many managers in our lifetime has done it. I mean, you only have to look at Alex Ferguson. He knew when to press gas and when to ease off. And that's what he did for 20 years.
Talking about being counterproductive, is that a way that you describe Raheem Sterling's move to Chelsea?
Is my question as a fan?
Just throwing it out. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think.
I gotta go easy. That's my brother right there.
Yeah.
And I was so happy to see him back in the Manor in West London. But I think with most things, as you said, Shells, it takes time.
Yeah, and
sometimes you just don't strike that relationship with your team in the first
Just
season.
yet, yeah.
Second season, it could be quite devastating for anybody out there who thinks that this Raheem Sterling is not going to turn up in the Premier League.
Trust me, he is.
You got to be your head checked.
And
he
as
will turn up.
And as I told Richie earlier, Raheem's been going through some stuff. You know, injury is one thing, but you know, stuff at home when he was at the World Cup and he had to leave and stuff for his family and stuff like that. So
that's
not
probably
quite
still
sure.
affecting him.
Still
affecting him.
Take some time.
He will
you know?
turn up and he will be devastating
I agree.
in whatever shirt he plays in. He's that good of a footballer.
I agree.
Allow me to big up Leon Bailey, though, because he's looking
Facts.
better and better going forward. I really like what I'm seeing,
facts.
especially in the last match that he was on the pitch.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, he's turning up to training now.
Well, to a great extent, it shows on the field.
Yeah, he's a trusted player. They're trusting
He
him
is.
now.
Yeah,
They're
man.
trusting him.
Big question mark on Leon. Talented, but big question mark. I don't know if that club was the right club for him anyway. but
Villa, yeah.
a
Villa.
talented footballer, no doubt.
True.
I think he's benefiting from where he is, though, in terms of greater recognition, and maybe he will eventually make another move.
Another move should be on
another
the cards.
upward move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should be on
at
the
some
cards.
point.
Yeah, he just needs to put in the work.
Yeah, man.
I think that manager, if you have a coach, as opposed to a rebel rouser, if you have a coach who can coach good things into you, I think it will pay off in the long run. I think Emery is going to be able to coach things in, like good things, not bad things, good things into him. So I think he will benefit from it. I don't know if Aston Villa will see the benefits this season, but I think he's a good player and
Great potential.
Emery coaching is something he doesn't play with. So you got to be there on time, son. You got to be there on time for coaching.
That's right.
All right, it's now time for
Man chat. All right, here we go on Bridge Nation. The reasoning today is, does the fabric make the man? And as we said, our guest this morning is filmmaker and social commentator Mark Anthony Deacon. And we just want to find out, should the appearance of a man affect the way he is treated? It is said how you are perceived by others before you open your mouth depends on mostly, the physical signals you send with your appearance. Appearances matter in real and fundamental ways that affect a man's daily life, from how he is greeted when meeting others for the first time to whether or not he'll be harassed while traveling. People are superficial, that's how I go. Not just as a cultural phenomenon, but as a hardwired instinct going all the way back to when our brains needed to make snap judgments on what was a strippy rock and what was a tiger about to eat us. Oh, so? Okay. We tend to be done formulating our initial opinion of someone before we've actually spoken to them. So this morning we'll be diving into that and just having a nice reasoning on why appearance matters so much and how it can affect us as men. Mark Wagwan.
Welcome, Mark.
It's good to be here. It's good to be here. It's good to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to read a voice, Richard.
You know what I mean? I forget them the radio voice. People love the radio voice.
Mark is a repeat guest, and we're always happy to have him in the studios
big
with
up,
us.
Mark. All right, Mark. So right off the bat, should the outfit matter?
Well, it's a very, very, very tricky question because yes, I mean, in some ways, your appearance can matter, but people can be vague. People can be very conceited with their appearances, and then you can find where people sometimes overdo it. So nothing is wrong with a man trying to take care of himself. Nothing is wrong with a man, book a spa day.
True.
Nothing is wrong with a man putting yourself together, I remember, and I always have stories. I remember I met this young lady and she said, let me see your fingers. And I showed her my fingers and she was like, oh, they're clean, but they don't look, when they go to the salon, not the salon, the nail place, and they put this glass thing on it. She said, oh, you don't have the glass thing on it. So
I love
her. So I'm like, wait.
Finger never buff.
Yeah, I'm like, so is that a problem? And she's like, yeah, because I like men with clean fingers. Okay. So I'm like, my fingers are not clean. Right. So people do overdo it, and people put too much emphasis on how you look, and that can also affect a relationship, especially when you find somebody and they're comparing you to someone else. You're in a relationship with a young lady and she said, but my boyfriend used to do this, my boyfriend used to do that, and that becomes a problem.
True.
Why I have a problem with the whole appearance thing is people don't think about your intellect. They focus on what is in front of them. And then you have the men who overdo it. You see men wearing the thing on their head now called bonnet. Like, you know, when a young lady is going to the bed. So I see men wearing that, and I'm like, okay, they're kind of overdoing it now.
Yeah, man, keep it fresh, man.
They're trying to keep your style fresh. Yeah. So they're overdoing it. So
With
they're
some curls.
Yeah, man. So they're overdoing it, and that is a problem because now you're spending too much time in the mirror mode on the woman.
Yeah.
You're going to spa mode on the lady.
When I go to the dance, I go try going at the video like more than them.
About me.
I made this. Yeah. You understand? So that's a problem for me. I believe that we have to just kind of balance it. You know, you have to balance your intellect with your appearance. But you cannot just look at one. You have to look at both because you have some people who look good on them now. They made picture like the bottle here.
Is it a case though where the public, John Public or Jane Public,
I'm gonna say Jane,
right? Basically end up now putting pressure on not only men but women as well. But since it's a man chat segment, putting pressure on the men because of things that they have said, will say, and will continue to say. So that kind of forces the individual now to try to, if they are weak, try to please persons by how they carry themselves.
True. Yes.
That happens, does it?
Yeah,
all the time. All the time.
Serious pressure, man.
Yeah.
It's a serious pressure because now you're trying to fit in when you don't need to fit in. You're trying to overdo it. You're trying to find the money now to try. Oh, I need to go get me hair do. I need to go to get the nails do. I need to buy the most expensive clothes because you have women who said, listen, if a man have no Jordans or no brand clothes, she don't want him. Not now go and feed my broke pocket.
Yeah.
Then understand me? And then you find these young men who are working at the call centers. Big up to the call center workers, them, you know. But the pay is so wonderful. And then
by Jordan them.
All right, and then by next week, them broke because them spend too much money on trying to acquire that look to please the individual, and that's a problem.
You know, you see, for me now, gents, how I do my whole appearance thing. For me, I don't really. The clothes very important. You see me, like it plays a role in the confidence, but I don't think it makes me as a man. And I think that I have to just do it how me grow up. You see me, and how I value myself. So for me, just a lineup, just a nice haircut, and I put on feel like me. What I consider me being a man or me as an individual, the clothes don't really do that for me. It just kind of enhances a vibe. But like for me, I can completely understand with guys out there who would say, yo, Jano, my advice, because based on where the conversation is going, I just want the gents out there to not have to do that to please somebody else. I think that is the problem. True. You understand? I think you need to find the validation within yourself. Because as I'm saying, Richie, a real thing, you know, like there's a funny Instagram video out there saying sometimes a man feel depressed. I don't know why, and when you get the haircut, I hate that. You understand? You don't know why.
But give you a joke, Richie and Shells. You have some man with them like the woman got them bed and put on about 4 or 5 different cream. You have man who have soap who wash off the oil. Then you have soap who wash on the looks. Then you have 7564 oil for your face.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, that's a problem. By the time you ready to jump asleep in the bathroom.
For me, nothing wrong with that, you know, Mark. The problem is who you do it for. That is my.
Yeah, and I'm saying nothing is wrong with taking care of your skin.
Them have a skin condition or just
them don't have a skin condition. They just want to look good. God,
they will preserve the youth.
Nothing is wrong with taking care of yourself.
For yourself.
But when you're trying to do it to please somebody
that's where I have a problem.
That's where the issue comes in.
That's where I have the problem.
That's where the problem comes in.
But in terms of a job though, no, Mark, in terms of dressing to suit that job, is it a different ball game for a man to make sure say, yo, you look appropriate for the job, despite how you feel as an individual?
Then say dress to impress.
Just to impress. So it matters in the job context.
It matters in the job context and also in society on a whole. Because I've been places and I've seen it where a person may have on a particular suit, come into the bank, and they're the first person who are served. And then come in a little jeans pants, and them say, soon come to you, just a minute there, please. And you sit down there, wait, and it is not just even your clothes, it's also even just the color of your skin.
That plays an important role.
The color of your skin. I have had situation. Listen. The skin thing, we need to stop it. I have had situation where people will see me and they assume because I'm light skinned, may have money, or because I'm light skinned, I'm from the uptown. Because I'm light skinned, a decent people can deal with him, man. And you have persons who are darker who get the bad treatment.
But by the way, I really was just joking when I mentioned that you can buy the Hennessy that Audley was talking about those still.
I mean, he can because he's light skinned.
Okay.
I'll just go to the liquor store and say, light skinned guy here, Hennessy right now.
We're good.
Interestingly, I had a conversation with the late Captain Burrell years ago, and he actually said to me, Richie, I never travel without my blazer because I get treated sometimes, most times I get treated differently.
I've heard that.
Yeah, when he travels, so he always has his jacket.
Yeah.
But I want you guys to tell me now, talking about image and so on, appearance, I'm going to do a show. I am expected, it would seem, based on what promoters have said to me over the years, a certain type of mode of dress is required. So I spend some money and I buy a suit.
Wow.
Or I have a blazer, and even you can do your jeans thing with that and so on. But when I go out there now, I get little money compared to some man who earn top dollars, and them stop on performing in a dirty jeans and a t-shirt. Me not feel good about that.
No.
Would I love to go out there just look like that too? So what must I do?
You made a good point a while ago, Richie, where you said that you bought into that, you bought your outfit and things to suit the expectation of the person that employed you.
Who employed you?
Yeah,
Yes.
so in that light, in that context, I don't feel like you did anything wrong. You understand me? I say I don't feel like, I just feel like just an unfair game. You understand me? Because I can understand where you're coming from. You have, as an MC. Yeah, do your thing, you dress bossy, right? But then you have the artists who can afford in our Crocs.
Dirty jeans and
because the expectations are different.
Someone will go barefoot.
Yeah, and one of the things I always ask people when they invite me out
call no names.
to certain events, I say to them, listen, what is the dress code?
Yeah, I
always ask that because you don't want to overspend.
Right.
You don't want to put yourself, and then you go there and then, like you people invite to certain events and you put yourself together, man. You're just like chicken foot pan white rice. And by the time you turn up,
I wonder about.
Yeah, man. By the time you turn up, you're the only one look odd because everybody else look different. I say, but they never give me the memo.
Everybody never get the memo.
And then you just feel so uncomfortable. So I would say to people, whatever makes you comfortable,
first
put yourself together. We're not expecting you to come to our event with your pants under here.
No, not time.
With 4 or 5 different underwear. We don't want to see that. So put yourself together, but make sure you're feeling comfortably in how you dress. You have to please yourself.
Yeah.
Importantly, you have to please yourself. You cannot let people dictate how you feel or dictate how you dress. There's a time and place for everything, but you have to feel comfortable in yourself.
Simple and practical ways that a man can look decent, as we would put it, without breaking the bank. Any suggestions?
Downtown. Simple.
True. I don't go downtown.
Down Portmore.
Yeah, when I go downtown, I have anxiety issue. I'm afraid of downtown. But the truth is, I would say to people, I don't run for weird things when we already.
I knew you were going there.
Yeah, man, I don't run for repeat clothes enough.
Like them dunce.
But I just know how to put it together.
Facts.
You go in your closet and you see some stuff and you say, there are people who have things in their closet who them don't wear it, them never wear it before, them buy it and they must say, but wait, me did buy this?
Our relative gear this long time. Yeah.
But why would you spend all that money, to buy it and don't wear it?
Yeah.
I wonder if you understand.
Because at the time they may feel as if they want to dress to impress, but you have to just be careful of how you want to put yourself together, and you don't want to overdo it. So look into your closet and say, all right, then I know I have a shirt, I've never worn it before, I've worn it one time, let me just put on a blazer over it. I have a shoes that I wear it one time, let me just put that shoes on. Just be comfortable in how you dress. You don't have to overdo it, and you don't have to overdo your hairstyle, you don't have to overdo your look. Just be comfortable in yourself.
And also the same social media that put the pressure on us with the clothing, there's an aspect of social media that helps with this type of stuff. So you have persons who have content out there who can show you how to dress well without breaking.
Actually looked at something. I looked at something on the internet recently, and it was being suggested that a man, especially somebody in a certain kind of employ, maybe at managerial level or whatever, would best have a black suit, a blue suit, a gray suit, a khaki, and a brown.
It's true.
And then all of those, it was being suggested, you can mix and match.
Yes, you can.
So you can do the khaki pants one day with a navy blue jacket, or with a black, or even with a brown, and you can do and you just juggle that around.
And as I was to the people, clothes don't make you look good, and me make clothes look good.
That is it.
Yeah.
And that suit thing actually came from Steve Harvey. And who look fresher than Steve Harvey now on suit.
Yeah, man.
Well, especially now that him stop with the long jacket. Them.
So I always have a blazer.
Yeah.
And I always have a black pants, and I always have a brown pants, and I always have a brown or a black shoes.
Yeah.
So I always make sure that I can mix and match, and I can also look good. So you have to just be comfortable in how you dress, be comfortable in yourself, be comfortable in your skin.
Yeah, man. I want to say thanks to the lady who gave me a compliment on my white shoes last night too. Wow.
She never stepped on it.
She never stepped on it.
Good.
She stayed out in the audience and I make up. I wonder what she has said, and she point me shoes. I love it. Wait for shoes bad. That she said. Yeah.
That she said. But the point is, you felt good before that.
Yeah,
which goes to
definitely.
say you put on the shoes for yourself.
That's why I buy it.
And a compliment goes a far way.
Yeah,
I believe that the young ladies out there, don't put too much pressure on your significant other. Encourage them. Tell them something nice. You look good today. So just as you want them to tell you that you look good. So
we like it.
You look good today, and make them feel comfortable. Because when you do that, at least they will feel more safer in themselves to say, alright then, she appreciate me. And I don't have to overspend to match up to her previous to her expectations. So compliment them, man.
Very important point. Dress. That's why we brought you here in the boss.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Sorry about the AC, but you delivered well.
Well, I'm looking to get a job on the bridge, so I will take the AC.
Hey,
you know what I mean? I will take the AC.
Audition tape. Take the audition tape.
Listen, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, man. That is my general, Mark Anthony Deacon, filmmaker and social commentator. And him fresh as well. You know the thing on today's reasoning on Man Chat was, does the fabric make the man? Chris, you there?
I'm here.
Bro, go on.
I'm good, man. Yo, thank you so much for having me, Shells. Always I support the thing from time.
Yeah, man, bro. You don't know. And Richie, from Richie Hear the Music, Richie said, nah, man, why I forget Chris Malachi on the show. So, Jimmy, welcome, bro. Survive. Now, Chris.
Give thanks, man.
That tune, Graveyard Shift. You understand me? So, we're going to talk about it. But I just want an introduction, to the Bridge Nation. Who is Chris Malachi? How the journey started? And just tell us, a little bit about yourself, bro.
Well, Chris Malachi is an artist who I really put my soul and my all into my music. And I use my gifts and talents that God gave me to put something of a good message in the music as well, So when you hear my music, you think of soulfulness, honesty, and passion with a good message.
Lovely. Now, Richie has something?
Yeah. So Chris, generally, the artists who go that route, sometimes it takes a longer time for them to get the kind of recognition that they would hope for, especially when they see other artists who are going the route of, slackness and gun lyrics and so on. But how difficult has it been for you, and are you still firm in that decision that you have taken?
Well, yeah, I'm definitely still firm because music for me is, although it's a career and you want to be successful and make the money and all of these things, to me is really a thing of purpose, and it's just that understanding that when you do certain things, it may take a little while, and I don't even take that kind of self-righteous role that I need to bust immediately, because when you look at other people's stories, you realize that many people had their process where they had to work for a few years to figure things out and before you really make that impact. And if you check it, that's really what Graveyard Shift is about. Because when I thought working through the night is not just a literal night. It's also about working through those steps when people might even be sleeping on you. People might not even realize what you're doing at first. It's about being that person to go out there and work hard even before people even catch on to what's going on. Because so when you work through the night, the sun must come up, So it's like all of these things, what my struggles and the journey of the music is there in the music itself,
I respect. No, Richie, I know, say that you in a Graveyard Shift. We're gonna get into it. They see the video. Chris, I'm approaching you not just as a bridge but as a fan as well, isn't me? Chris I do a thing in terms of his press tour. I call it a press tour. You see in the video, he might wear a little overall, like when you see the garbage truck driver. He might rock that, but he's not just rocking in the video. If him that forward in the studio today, him that have it on.
Yeah.
Any type of
It's like a
performance.
signature look.
Yeah, so Chris, I want to know what's the mindset behind it. Were you inspired by like The Weeknd, for example? Because I know The Weeknd, when he was doing his albums, you know, it's almost like he took on the persona that did the album. Is this an alter ego, you know, for Graveyard Shift?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even like to say the word alter ego because it's still it's just another expression of me. But yeah, he's one of the inspirations of that, and for me is to just bring that story into real life, you know, and to just keep to keep that energy going wherever we go. So now, if I step in an event, people see it. Oh yeah, I work today. You know, anywhere I go, and it's also like a little reminder to myself, to, you know, because when you wear something like that, you stand out.
True.
And it's a little thing to me. So okay, I'm in this space. I'm here to do something. You know.
Respect.
You know, so it's stuff like that I think about when I wear these things, and it goes beyond just Graveyard Shit, because that look and that feel, it continues to the mixtape that I'm about to drop, the Work and Play mixtape. There's a whole aesthetic, the whole story rolling out. Yeah, man.
What you call it? The world.
Work and Play.
Work and Play.
Work and Play mixtape. Yeah, man. That is with myself and Boom Jar, and it's also connected to the Work and Play live show that we're about to do this Saturday.
Which also features Boom Draw, right?
Yeah, Boom Draw, Kuma Fire. Nice, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Full live band show.
Yeah, tell me more about it, man. The Work and Play live. Tell me more about it, man.
Yeah, man. So Work and Play live. That's my very first show that I'm putting on.
Wow.
It's at Kingston Dub Club at 7B Skyline Drive. We'll have an amazing performance by Kumar Fire as well, and of course Boomja will be on the DJ playing some music, and then I will be doing a full live band set as well. So far I would say this is, I don't want praise myself or anything, but this is really, I think this is the best that I've done so far. Because we're really working to present something special to people. And even before we go a little further, I have to thank my sponsors. VM Wealth and Every Mickle, they were so gracious to really believe in the vision that we're doing and give us some support for this show. So really grateful to be putting our Work and Play live this Saturday.
We have only played Graveyard Shift this morning, but is your catalog or your performance likely to be, say, 45 minutes to an hour, and what will you include in that set?
Well, I'll be including a good portion of my songs, but also some cover songs that, I like to choose my cover songs in a way where it's some songs where you don't even remember, so so that when we play it, it's just a big surprise for the crowd, so we time the set to just to make it flow through the whole thing, that the crowd can be engaged for the whole thing.
I'm excited, man, and congrats, bro, and all the best to you, Boomja, Kumar. It's a good look. Saturday.
Nice lineup, that, trust me.
Yeah, man, it's a good look.
What time does it kick off?
Yeah, man, the show starts at 7. So at 7, you have Boomja playing some music first, and then we'll get into Kumar's performance at around 8ish or so. And then, yeah, man, we in showtime by that time. So 7 to 11. Don't be late.
Nah, so we're not late, man. And just remind the Bridge Nation of the prices as well. You know it go.
Yeah, man. So the prices is 2,000 pre-sold, selling tickets online. If you go on my social media page, you'll see that link on Spur Open, and 2,500 at the gate.
Man, just left your social media handles with the peeps, because right now the fans are listen, bro.
Yeah, man. So my social media on all platforms, especially Instagram and TikTok, is at Chris Malachi. So it's ChrisMalachi. At Chris Malachi on all platforms.
That is it. Congrats, bro.
Forgive me for using this medium, since we're not talking by way of the telephone straight up. Was Miss Coley once a part of your team, or still a part of your team?
Miss Coley.
Yes.
Okay, so Miss Coley, she is just an awesome friend of mine.
Now I'm making the connection, because in my previous employ at another station, she did introduce me to your music, and we were in fact playing quite a bit of your music back then. Man. So the connection has been made. Give thanks, Chris.
Yeah, man. Big up Tammy Coley.
Tammy, yeah, man.
She's such a great friend of mine. So grateful for her all the time.
Much love, bro.
All right, man.
All right, keep on doing your thing, keep on striving, and keep on giving us this quality and positive music, Chris. Big up yourself, all right, and all the best.
Enough love, bro.
Thank you so much, and thanks so much for having me.
Yeah,
Shells and Richie B, big up yourself as well, legend, you know?
Every time. Big up, sir.
Respect.
All right.